Shalom Israel. All praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Quadash, for allowing me to do another lesson. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and is no God beside him. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for being faithful witnesses to the Holy Spirit, and salutations to the elect whom the Lord have given ears to hear. Now I'm watching the elder brother Kazak's lesson. Appreciate what Yahweh Shai gave you. Very good lesson. Also want to highlight another lesson by the brother Matatia, the elder brother Matatia, out in GMS Des Moines. Only a few in GMS is worthy. And very good lesson. Check them out. And as I'm watching the elder brother, I'm thinking of the rich man that asked Yahweh Shai, good man, what must I do to be saved? So, he says, Yahweh Shai corrects him. He said, call no man good but the Heavenly Father. All right, proving that Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are two separate people. Okay. And in that same parable, I'm on the road, so I can only quote it. But in that same parable, he told Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai told him to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. He said, that I do. I believe he even said from my birth up, that I do. But then he went on to tell him, sell all that thou hast. And the man went away sorrowful because he was tethered to that which he had. And the brothers was going into, being covetous and being envious, of this world, this life, being too attached to these fleshy things. And as we always bring out Revelation 13 and 16, that's going to be the test. That's pretty much going to be, I liken the test of the mark of the beast, where we won't be able to buy or sell. That's pretty much, synonymous, of course, metaphorically speaking, to what Yahweh Shai told the rich man, listen, if you want to follow me, sell all that thou hast. And that's really, like the Apostle Tahar said, that's going to separate the boys from the men. Because being in this life, especially being an American, being here in America, that's the culture. You never have enough. But being in this truth and growing with Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, our culture is opposite. More of a minimalist culture, if you will. Right? The scriptures say, even the brother quoted it, godliness with contentment is great gain. All right? And some from the elder apostle Gabar, I keep that in mind. It plays in my head when, I'm thinking of making a decision to add to my life. He always says to keep it simple. And what really sticks for me is when I've made decisions that I've later on regretted it, and I was thinking to the apostle, damn, now I see what he's saying. Most importantly, that our treasure should be in heaven, where neither moss nor rough doth corrupt or steal. All these things that the world has is going to be taken away from them. You see what's going on, as brothers and sisters, various content creators and even brothers, most importantly brothers, I've mentioned how when you look at society today versus society...
In 2 miles, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 11 for Garden State Parkway.
When when you look at society today versus society in the past, everything is more so of a subscription lifestyle, you know, which goes into this devil's NW to the O. You will own nothing and be happy. Whereas before, you had more say-so and more ownership over what was yours, right? So, hey, we got to be careful how we build, you know, going into these darkest hours, right? Because right now we're building habits. Right now we're building habits, man. And that was pretty much it, man. We got to remember to pray, right? Pray to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, as it is written in Proverbs 3 and 5. I'll end it off with that, actually. Actually, let's get it in the, I think it's in the NLT.
In half a mile, use the right 2 lanes to take exit 11 for Garden State Parkway.
It says, trust in Yahweh with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take.
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 11.
It says, don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead,
in half a mile, keep right. Follow signs for Garden State Parkway.
Slack you 1 second, Aki. Bear with me, bear with me. It says, seek his will in all you do.
Keep right. Continue on Garden State Parkway for 12 miles.
It says, trust in Yahweh with all you do. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will. I'm sorry. Slakia. We're going to start again at 5. Trust in Yahweh with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. That's why it's important to stay tuned what's going on in Israel. You know, watching his videos. Another thing, you know, I appreciate the elder brother Amwan Gabar. He does his verse of the day. You know, and I've been doing that, not as far as doing lessons on it, but you know, I've been checking my Bible app, seeing what spirit the Lord want to put out that day. So it says, seek his will in all you do. All right, read that, Salakia. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear Yahweh and turn from evil. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, our own wisdom is deadly. It says that in Jeremiah 16 and 9. You know? Now, of course, if it's wisdom, you know, man has wisdom. But normally, that wisdom is backed by a lot of trial and error. And then us, you know, we have the scoop, because we have the wisdom of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. So that even though, you know, we also have trial and error, it should be less error. You know, because like the scriptures say, like it says in James, you know, the scriptures is a mirror. You know, show us of ourselves, show us of our actions. You know, but it only works if we do, you know, if we implement these words. So it says, It says, then you will have healing in your body and strength for your bones. You know? So that's just a little quick hit. Lord willing, you Akim Aqua for edified. Till next time, Lord's willing. Shalom.